Hi everyone and welcome back. So I actually really didn't want to do this video, but I felt motivated to do it. I felt that it's necessary to do it, to at least talk about this parallel between this interesting juxtaposition that is being played out in the media and how people are getting up in a frenzy over Derrick Jaxn at the expense of neglecting Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd almost a year ago. May 25th, 2020, he killed George Floyd. That trial is happening. Yet everyone is such in a distraction with this whole Derrick Jaxn saga, right? And I think the Derrick Jaxn saga is not only a distraction, but it's just gossip. You have a ton of black women who have taken to social media to bash Derrick Jaxn. And I'm like, granted, yes, cheating is wrong, right? Cheating is wrong. But which is worse? Like, who should we really be attacking? Derrick Jaxn or Derek Chauvin? Which one is worse? Cheating on a person's wife, cheating on your wife, right? Or killing an innocent person? Which one? And I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, neither one are good. Of course, but it's just like, look at where the focus is. I mean, I'm not the one to be getting all in somebody's business about what happens in their household, right? Granted, yes, he promotes himself as a relationship guru, and I think he coined the whole phrase that black men don't cheat. But it's like, is it any of my business that he cheated on his wife? Like, what happened in his household? How is that black women's business? I just don't get it. Like, mistakes happen. People do things, right? I mean, I know one can make the argument that cheating isn't really a mistake. Like, is it really a mistake when he consciously made a choice to go out and do what he did? I don't know the details of that, and I really don't care. But I just made an observation before doing this video, before going live today. And I'm like, it's interesting how the Derek Chauvin case is going on right now. People aren't really talking about that. It's like, okay, George Floyd got killed last year in the middle of this pandemic. Basically, it was like, it's what kind of sprang for the pandemic, the whole chaotic situation surrounding the pandemic, I think. Like, just to look at the sequence of events that happened, it's like, hold on, give me a second, y'all. Sometimes you gotta block people who are unnecessary distractions. But it's just like, the pandemic, yes, it was already happening. And then, to make matters worse, right, the George Floyd situation happened. And it's just like, everybody was up in an uproar when George Floyd got killed. It's almost like people forgot they were in quarantine, on shutdown, and people just started doing whatever they wanted to. They taken to the streets, they rioting, they looting, like breaking into businesses, just violating curfews. Like, it was crazy all over. A black man being shot and killed. And in my mind, I'm like, at the time, is it really because a black man is being shot and killed? Or is it because people just needed a break from being locked down, from being held down in their homes for so long, from being put on restriction and being told that you can't go outside, right? Like, there's this invisible monster outside, you can't go outside. So people just found it they took it as a release, a way to just get out and release some of that anger and frustration that they were dealing with prior to George Floyd being shot and killed. And it makes you wonder, like, I mean, I know they say time heals all wounds. So with the amount of time that has elapsed between when George Floyd was killed and this moment where his killer should be facing major consequences, it's like people just have like let it go. No protests. I read a few posts where some people are saying, oh, just let it go. You should just redirect your pain, your hurt, your energy towards building up the black community with, something that you have control over, to just let it go. And it's just like, how valuable is the black man? I just find it to be interesting, just like this parallel in how Derek, a white man, can get away with murder of killing a black man, just walk away scot-free. And then we, in the same vein, take to attacking a black man for cheating on his wife, when most of y'all are with partners who have cheated and you have cheated. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I think it goes beyond the cheating. Just a little something. Why some of these videos that black women are making, right, to attack Derrick Jaxn? It's just like, is it really an attack against a person who cheated? Or is it an attack just against the black man? Like, this is just how you feel about the black man, right? And this scenario is just a trigger point for you to be able to feel comfortable to do that. That's just how you already felt. That's how I look at it. Because it's just like, there's no way these black women who are making these rant videos in response to Derrick Jaxn coming forth and sharing with the world, like, this is who I am, this is what I did, like, he's being transparent and his mistakes publicly, and yet he's attacked. And I'm just like trying to make sense of the proportion of this negative energy that is coming from black women. Like, I think it's just disproportionate to like what is actually on the table. Because, like, where is that energy? Where is that energy when a black man is killed at the hands of a white police officer? Where is that same energy? Are y'all making all these videos? I think it's just people jumping on the bandwagon and just trying to get views. And they just like gossip. To me, it makes no sense. I mean, yeah, I think, okay, the men clown Derrick Jaxn because he's a clown, and it's ironic that he does something that is contradictory to what he preaches, right? I get that, but I'm saying on a large scale of things, right? Because I like to look at things at a macro level, right? Micro too, but more so macro, to look at not only the Derrick Jaxn situation, but what is happening alongside this whole situation. That's the whole point of this live video here. It's just like, do y'all not see this? Am I the only one who sees it? Because I think it's important that we have an awareness of ourselves, right? I think it's so easy to point the finger at the next person and just like, oh, you did that wrong. But do you have self-awareness? Like, do you see yourself? Do you see what's happening amongst people in the black community? Do you see this? Where is the outrage? Where is the outrage for George Floyd at this point? It's just like, I think people just are missing the whole point. And I'm not here to say that cheating is right. I'm just saying that how does that become a bigger story? Like, how does that become more of what you tend to focus on? How does that deserve more of your attention? And then just to see the response of black women, like there's a trend of black women attacking black men publicly. I don't think that necessarily is a good thing. I mean, we are already under attack, right? So just to create this narrative like, oh, the black man ain't shit. You guys, these are black men here. These are black men here. Like, come on. Do you think that's really appropriate? I mean, people make mistakes, and I think that he's a good example of a person who's made a mistake, and for him to come forward I mean, granted, it probably would have hit the truth would have hit the surface anyway, but I think it's just, what do we get? Like, how is that giving us satisfaction? Why do we get satisfaction out of pointing the finger to say, like, he's already admitted that he's made a mistake. So for black women to take to rubbing it in, just like, oh, you made a mistake. It's just, you guys, have you seen the tirade of videos on YouTube, on social media, just berating him, attacking him, and just, I mean, women going on for hours. It's just like, looking at this, like when you watch, because I only could take but so much. It's like watching these black women, and it's just going on for hours. It's just like, it kind of makes sense why it kind of began to dawn on me. And I'm a black woman, right? I love being a black woman, but it made sense why sometimes it makes sense why I hate to say this is why I'm stalling on it, but it makes sense why some black men are just like, they can't deal with black women, because it's just like the level, like, I just feel like the level of energy and anger, bitterness, like that's directed towards this situation, towards Derrick Jaxn. It's just like, seriously? I mean, I know some people be fronting for media, right? So they gotta get on camera and put on this front and go like up and beyond and add sauce to it, you know, to make it 10 times worse than really what it is. But it's just like, I don't agree with that. And I just want to raise everyone's consciousness on what is really happening here. Like, seriously, have we're so quick to look at other people. Have we taken a look at ourselves to see why? You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of what women are doing is just, it's projecting. It's projecting how they already felt about the black man in the first place. You know? You can't be mad at a person that you don't know. All of that anger, like, when you see like all these black women and they're like, haha, you know, like, oh, I caught you, and ew, like, that is how they feel about the black man. Those are their attitudes, irrespective of what Derrick Jaxn did. That's just how they feel. They just using this as a catalyst, as an opportunity to be able to express those feelings publicly. And being that so many women are doing it, it makes it easier for one to be able to express how they really feel about a person, even though they probably kept that inside. And how the person sees a person, how black women relate to black men, how they see black men, it's just based on their own experiences with black men. So it's very telling. As a person who studies psychology, right, and human behavior, I encourage you guys, when you're watching these videos of black women, challenge, not to say that you have to disagree necessarily with some of their opinions and perspectives on how they see the situation, because we all can agree that, okay, cheating is wrong. So that's not up for debate here. Clearly that's not up for debate. But I encourage you guys to challenge these women who are making these rant attack videos about Derrick Jaxn. And of course they're going to get defensive, but challenge these black women to see, where is that really coming from? What is the true source of all that pent up anger and tension, like, and bitterness? It comes from somewhere. You cannot be that angry. You cannot be that angry at a man that you've never met, right? You're not in his marriage. You cannot be that angry at him. So where is that anger coming from? What is the source of all of that anger towards one black man? That's my question for you guys. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. We are so forgiving of white people, I think, but when it comes to our own, when a person within our own community makes a mistake, it gets blasted. And it becomes this unforgivable act. That, to me, is troubling. So I want you guys to share your thoughts below. Share this video. I just want to see. What do you guys think about that? It's not to get on here and be talking about. We already know the issue with cheating, right? Like, he's already come forward. So no need to get on here and talk about that. I'm just talking about, do you guys see the juxtaposition here? Talk about that. The Derek Chauvin murder trial of George Floyd and how that has taken a backseat to Derrick Jaxn. And Lil Nas. Let's not forget about Lil Nas. Open your eyes, people. Open.